Something has just happened in Canada that many thought would never occur in their lifetime. Alberta, the energy powerhouse of the nation, has stepped forward and declared its intention to break away from Canada. Not a symbolic protest. Not a political bluff. A full-on declaration of independence. Premier Danielle Smith, standing before the legislature, told Albertans that the time has come to decide their own destiny, free from the grasp of Ottawa. And her words have already set off a chain reaction unlike anything Canada has ever seen. Because across the border, U.S. President Donald Trump wasted no time making an offer that stunned the world. Alberta could join the United States as the 51st state. Just let that sink in for a moment. Alberta, not as a fledgling, uncertain nation fighting for recognition, but as part of America itself, with full rights, full protection, and full integration into the U.S. system. It's a proposal that has left Canadians speechless, Washington buzzing, and Ottawa scrambling. Prime Minister Mark Carney, who promised Canadians a steady hand and a united country, is suddenly staring down the greatest political crisis of modern times. His government now faces a choice no leader in Canadian history has had to confront: fight to keep Alberta in the fold or accept the possibility of Canada itself unraveling. On the streets of Calgary, Edmonton, Red Deer, and Fort McMurray, the atmosphere is electric. Supporters of independence wave Alberta's flag high in the air, their voices ringing out, "We're done with Ottawa." Truckers and oil workers are celebrating, farmers are cheering, and young people are shouting about a future where Alberta stands tall and proud. But not everyone is cheering. Some are terrified. Some fear what independence would mean: new borders, new currency, new laws, and perhaps even confrontation with Ottawa. It's not just a Canadian story anymore. It's an international earthquake. Investors are already pulling out of Toronto. Oil markets are fluctuating wildly, unsure of which government, Ottawa or Alberta, has authority over production. Even world leaders in Europe and Asia are issuing cautious statements, urging calm while quietly preparing for a new political map of North America. And while the world reacts, Trump is seizing the spotlight. His offer is more than just a gesture, it's a power play. Imagine what it means for him if all, and then there's Trump's offer. With characteristic bravado, he told reporters that Alberta would be a perfect fit for the United States. He praised its oil reserves, its entrepreneurial spirit, and its fierce independence. In his words, Alberta wouldn't just survive, it would thrive inside the United States. But let's not underestimate the stakes here. Accepting Trump's offer would mean Albertans no longer shaping their own nation, but instead becoming Americans overnight. Their flag would change. Their votes would count in U.S. elections. Their energy resources, pipelines, and farmlands would fall under Washington's jurisdiction. Is that liberation, or is it simply trading one master for another? The division within Alberta is already clear. Some want full independence, total sovereignty, a chance to build a new country with its own voice in the world. Others see Trump's deal as a lifeline, a shortcut to stability, wealth, and security. And lurking behind it all is the fear of Ottawa's reaction. Carney's government has not been silent. Reports suggest his advisors are considering extraordinary measures, legal blockades, constitutional challenges, even invoking emergency powers to stop the declaration from moving forward. But would that be enough? Or would it inflame Alberta's resolve even further? Already, Saskatchewan's premier has hinted that his province is watching closely. And in British Columbia, rumblings of dissatisfaction with Ottawa are growing louder by the hour. If Alberta succeeds, Canada's very existence as a united country could be in jeopardy. The dominoes could fall one by one, leaving Ottawa clinging to a shrinking federation. Think of the global implications. The international community would be forced to react quickly. Would NATO recognize Alberta as independent? Would the United Nations? Would America push for immediate recognition if statehood talks began? And what about global markets? How would they handle the shock of Canada's breakup? Alberta accepts control of massive oil reserves, a loyal new voting base, and a historic expansion of American territory. He would go down in history as the president who redrew the U.S. border. But the decision doesn't rest with Trump or Carney. It rests with the people of Alberta. And that's where the tension is highest. Do they risk everything for full sovereignty? Do they take Trump's hand and step into the United States? Or do they give Ottawa one last chance to fix what they see as decades of betrayal? No matter which path they choose, one truth is undeniable: Canada will never be the same again. And that's why you cannot look away from this story. We are witnessing history unfold in real time. Alberta has declared independence. The United States is standing by with an open door. And Ottawa is bracing for the fight of its life. While the drama is exploding in Alberta, we cannot ignore what's happening across the rest of Canada. In Toronto, Montreal, and Halifax, the mood is very different. People are waking up to headlines that feel like science fiction, and they're asking themselves, if Alberta leaves, what happens to the Canada we've always known? For many, it feels like the ground has shifted beneath their feet. In Ontario, the economic concerns are immediate. Alberta isn't just any province, it's one of the engines of Canada's economy. Billions in equalization payments, energy exports, and trade routes flow through Alberta. Without it, Ottawa's finances collapse almost overnight. Middle-class families in Ontario are now wondering if their taxes will skyrocket to fill the hole. In Quebec, the reaction is even more complicated. For decades, Quebec nationalism was the dominant separatist movement in Canada. Now, suddenly, it's Alberta taking the leap. Some Quebec politicians are quietly saying, if Alberta can walk away, why can't we? The irony is almost too much to believe. Ottawa could be fighting independence flames on two fronts. And in the Atlantic provinces, fear is spreading. Without Alberta's wealth propping up equalization, what happens to smaller provinces like Nova Scotia and New Brunswick? Their leaders know the math doesn't work. If Alberta leaves, they lose the safety net they've relied on for decades. It's no wonder premiers across the East are calling emergency meetings, trying to find a strategy before the federal system collapses. So, stay with me, because this is only the beginning. The twists ahead could shake not only Canada and America, but the world itself. If you want to follow every step of this dramatic story, make sure you subscribe right now, turn on notifications, and join me as we continue uncovering the truth behind Alberta's boldest move in history. Trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next.